with a question I have to Mr. Comon. The PA has, as you know, long faced a lot of criticism from Western governments for its policy of paying Palestinian prisoners or the families of prisoners in Israeli jails. And we here in Congress have, you know, consistently passed legislation over the last few years that requires restrictions on financial aid to the Palestinian Authority based on the amount spent on these salaries. The problem that I want to raise is one, as you note in your testimony, where you say, bowing to international pressure, the PA stopped paying from one PA ministry only to restart the payment through an arm of the PLO. And this duplicity was not explained to us by our government at the time that we did some cross-examination on this. Now it is surfacing. Can you help walk us through that change? When was it made? How hard is it to track? Give us the details on what happened there.
Yes, sir. In May 14, under the pressure of donor countries, the PA made a deliberate act of a move of misleading those countries by transferring the distribution of the money that comes from the PA to a body of the PLO. It created a virtual body, I should say, called the Commission for Detainees and Ex-Detainees Affairs, which belongs to the PLO, but it was virtual in the sense that the offices remained the same offices. The man in charge was the same man, Issa Karaka, with a different job title. The supervision or oversight of the distribution of the money remained the same, and it was all an answer to this pressure, which was specified by the minister at the time of the affairs of the prisoners, Mr. Ziad Abu Ain, who said we had to do it because of the pressure of donor countries, which began different investigations about how we spend this money. So this was the idea. We pass it to the PLO, and this is the end of the story.
And as I recall, in terms of the dollar amount, it was precisely the same amount.
Absolutely.
To the dollar that was transferred.
Yep.
How much of the annual PA budget is taken up by these salaries to terrorists? What percentage?
This is hard to determine because no one knows really what is the PA general budget. Much of it is hidden. There are different bodies that are dealing with it. But I would say that by the
known budget
information, by the online and by media, it would be about 10%.
About 10%
yes.
goes to reward people to carry out attacks, stabbings, and shootings of the Israeli population.
Mr. Chairman, the president of the Palestinian Authority said openly that this is the main concern of the Palestinians, that this is the prisoners are a fighting sector of our society. And
but most of these prisoners are young people. You know, the targeting goes to children. The targeting goes to youth. They're recruiting young people. I saw one of the recordings the other day of a girl who looked no more than 5. Maybe she was 4. What message would you send to other children? And she has a knife in her hand, and she says, stab, 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 is the message she sends. That is the kind of programming. In Congress here, over and over again, we repeat this theme. If you want to make peace, you have to teach peace. This is what we keep conveying to the Palestinian Authority. But what we are watching on their television is exactly the opposite. Maybe you can comment on this messaging and what it constitutes.
Mr. Chairman, Memory has been monitoring the Arab and Palestinian media amongst it for almost 20 years. And what we see in the Palestinian media, and now it's virtual, it's online, and it goes all over the world, is a constant legitimization of the armed action of the killing of Israelis and Jews, and much of the terminology refers to Jews. Kill the Jews. We have so much material online in our website, memory.org, which shows it in a quite graphic way, pictures of the actual killing, reacting and acting in a kindergarten of the terrorist acts to tell people, this is the model, tell kids, this is your model. But there is more than that. There is actual training through the internet of how to do it.
On how to do it.
Not just stab as it comes to you, but where to hit. And there are instructions, and there are instructions to use poison, to use with which knives to deal, and of course to use any weapon possible, not necessarily weapons, but cars and trucks and other ways, whatever is in your capability, kill, kill, kill.
And these are official Palestinian Authority media?
Much of it is on the Palestinian official media, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, my time has expired. I'll go to Mr. Elliot Engel of New York.